Alrighty, movie review time. So, this is a romantic drama based on Naomi Alderman's book. I've not read it. The film takes place in a small Orthodox Jewish community in North London. At the beginning, we see the old Rav talking in the synagogue about God and free will and choice before he collapses. Then, we find ourselves in New York with Ronit, Rachel Weisz's character. We see her having some kind of crisis before she returns to England, and we find out later she was the old Rav's only daughter. He died, and she is returning home for the funeral, where she meets childhood friends David and Esty, who are now married to each other. Esty, played by Rachel McAdams. Ronit is surprised that her friends got together. So, spoiler alerts, go no further if you want to see the film. Ronit is the free spirit of the story, not someone who was ever going to follow in the conservative, ultra-conservative ways of the family, the community. We learn that she had been effectively ostracized years ago. Why? Because she was having an affair with Esty. Homosexuality, not something that's tolerated in the Orthodox community, to say the least. So we find Ronit is going over old stomping grounds, seeing old faces. She has a shock when she finds out that nothing was left to her in her father's will. He left it all to the synagogue. As she is looking over some of her father's old possessions in his dusty old house, she has Esty for company. And it becomes apparent that they still have strong romantic feelings for one another. They end up kissing in the house, and then later, when walking home at night, they kiss again. But the second time, they are spotted by a Jewish couple who know them both and proceed to tell the headmistress of the school, where Esty is a teacher, an all-girls school. So, this throws a spanner into the works. Even so, even after she is reprimanded, Ronit and Esty, they pursue the affair. David finds out, of course. This is an extra stress for him, as he is being touted as the Rav's successor. He's looking to become the head of the religious community. When he finds out, he reacts badly to his wife's recent behaviour, but he struggles to come to terms with it in his own way, and eventually he offers her her freedom, but not before he finds out that she is pregnant, which is an interesting twist in the story, if you like. In the end, he turns down the offer to be the new Rav. Says he doesn't have the necessary understanding to take up the position. David, Esty, and Ronit, they reconcile. And you think maybe Ronit and Esty are going to leave together for New York, but no. The married couple decide to stick together for the sake of the unborn child, I guess. And Ronit returns to her life abroad, but no longer as an exile or a stranger, at least not to David and Esty. Alexandro Nivola, the American actor, plays David, the torn husband. The acting is on point from all three of the main characters. Rachel Weisz's Ronit is reserved in a sense, but on the edge. She has no love for the conservative environment she finds herself back in. And at one point in the film, she sort of has a blow-up at her uncle's dinner table when confronted with the common fare, traditional, stifling, narrow views she's all too familiar with. Esty, by contrast, is clearly more keen to fit in. She's kind of mousy, has more respect for the old ways, but at the same time, she's eaten up with guilt, has a complex due to her sexuality. And it was her, Esty, who sent the message to Ronit in New York regarding her father's demise, obviously because she wanted her to come back. She wanted to see her again. No one else really wanted to see Ronit in the community, with the possible exception of David, who clearly has some sympathy for Ronit. All in all, it's not a feel-good movie. So if that's what you're looking for, probably not for you. Not a particularly feel-good ending either, but the way it concludes left me with a degree of respect for all three of the main cast due to the degrees of selflessness that they exhibit in very trying circumstances, as well as the emotional maturity they exhibit as well. So, thumbs up. I'm saying 8 out of 10. Good stuff. Definitely worth a watch.